Allie.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
What's up, guys? Welcome to another video. This is going to be a full day of eating. I'm going to try to make it a little bit different than I have in the past. Usually my full days of eating are more like as you go along, descriptive type things. And then a lot of times on the weekends I'll do a full day of eating just to show you guys like what I eat on the weekends. But this particular weekend, I've been kind of trying to show you guys how I'm changing things up. Instead of having like a set cheat meal or like a refeed day, I've just been taking kind of a relaxed approach to my weekend, and I haven't really felt like I needed a refeed or like a cheat meal. Like, I haven't been craving it. I'm not super hungry. I'm not fatigued, nothing like that. So my goals are still to eventually compete this year, but my schedule is really weird, so I haven't set a date on that. So I'm still in the process of like leaning down, and if I don't really want a cheat meal, like there's no point in it and I don't need it, then, you know, there's no reason to waste it. I'm kind of saving it up too because our anniversary is coming up too, so planning in my head that I'm going to allow myself to probably go a little crazy for 2 days. 1 second, I have to let Allie out. Okay, so in order to stay sane and kind of recharge on the weekends, I've just not exactly been tracking. I tracked for the purposes of this video just to kind of make it a little more informative for you guys. So just keep in mind that my calories are still kind of low, especially, and I'm 4'11", I'm like 105 pounds, so I'm not your typical like 5'6" type of person, and I'm still in like somewhat of a prep mode, if that makes sense. So starting off the day, basically what my goal is on the weekends is to, during the week I keep my diet consistent. I eat the same things because it's easier, it's better for my diet, I feel better. But on the weekends I'll change it up and I'll eat a little more things, maybe snack more through the day, eat more carbs, and then have some of the things that I've been kind of craving or so, if that makes sense. So for breakfast, meal one, I started with 2 servings of the Kamut puffs, which I absolutely love, and I used to eat them every day, but sometimes I go a little overboard, so I like to not eat them every day just to keep them in check. Usually I have oats, which I still love, but sometimes I just want some cold cereal. I had a cup of cashew milk with that, and I actually mixed it with a scoop of the salted caramel Slap Nutrition BCAAs, which is pretty bomb. I usually just put it in my protein shakes because it helps thicken it up and it gives it some extra flavor. So I really like that stuff. And then of course I add some cinnamon to it. On the side, just for some extra carbs, I also had these Magic Pops, Kim's Magic Pop. These things are freaking awesome. They're like 15 calories and 4 carbs. They're really hard to find. I think maybe Whole Foods has them. Some of my HEBs here in Austin have them, so that's kind of where I get them. So that was part 1. Part 2, for the protein, I tried to keep my whey protein intake to just 1 scoop a day. Sometimes, very rarely, I do 2. So, you know, if I did 2, it would usually be for breakfast. But keeping it down to 1, I stuck with some egg whites, and I just made myself 1 egg and then 4 egg white omelet. Yeah, so 1 egg, 4 egg white omelet, and then I put some sugar-free syrup on top, cinnamon. Bomb. Bomb, bomb, bomb.
All right. Which hand do you want me to do it from?
That doesn't matter. Whatever looks easiest.
That's fine.
I just peed in a cup, guys, and it just looks like water. We're gonna go ahead and compare this to Ashton's pee whenever he comes out. It's super clear. I'm so proud of myself.
Oh.
That's not too bad. Yours is definitely yellow, but it's not as bad as it normally is. Good job.
Thanks.
So on Saturdays, on the weekends, I try to like not exactly have to stick to that 2 to 3 hour mark. I kind of eat when I'm hungry. If I want to snack on something, I will. So I had this random I was feeling like I needed like a little sweet tooth, like a couple hours after, maybe it might have only been like an hour and a half after breakfast, I don't know, but I felt like having 2 rice cakes and PB2. So I accidentally put a little too much water in the PB2 and it was too like liquidy, so I added a spoonful of whey to just kind of help thicken it up, and that was just kind of a random snack. And then of course I topped that off with cinnamon because I think you'll see me use cinnamon on like almost everything in this video. All right, so I guess we could call this like maybe meal 3. I had a romaine blend lettuce mix and broccolini. I try to not eat spinach or like kale or those types of like really hearty leafy greens, just because I like to eat vegetables, and then if I eat too much of that, it kind of makes me bloated and my stomach cramp, like it's just too much fiber for me. So I like to make my broccolini, like this is just the easiest way to make it. I use non-stick cooking spray, no oil, nothing. I use the Trader Joe's everything but the bagel seasoning. This is so good on the broccolini. Like it's just, actually it's good on everything. I've been putting it on everything. This one and then their new onion salt. I mean, these are just epic. I've literally been putting them on everything. It's kind of disgusting. I probably have bad breath, but who cares? Whatever, food is good. So make my broccolini with the non-stick cooking spray. I also had some ground turkey, which I had prepped myself, like, I don't know, a few days before. And then for dressing, I like to use, I'm like a mustard connoisseur, so I have like every flavored mustard. So I use usually Dijon mustard, which I found a 0-calorie brand, and it's just like a generic HEB brand. 0-calorie Dijon mustard, and then I'll add like a little bit of red wine vinegar, just to kind of like, so it's not so thick, you know, and it just kind of blends better with the lettuce or whatever you want to call it. All right, so for meal 4, part 1 is going to be Icon Meals ground turkey and roasted turkey breast, because I had weird amounts left over of each. Some leftover broccolini that I cooked earlier, and then I'm topping it off with this Colonel Seasonings garlic parmesan seasoning, which, let me tell you, is epic. It does have dairy in it, so I try not to use it very like often, just to avoid bloating and all that stuff, but it's pretty freaking bomb if I do say so myself. This meal was actually super epic. I thoroughly enjoyed it. As a snack, I also had, or as my carb for that meal, I also had some Magic Pop thingies. I mean, I basically eat a bag of those in like 2 days on the weekends. I just kind of snack on them like whenever I have like a craving or I feel hungry, and it's like 15 calories. And then I usually put some cinnamon and sugar-free syrup. Sometimes I put some butter spray on them as well, and it's just like the perfect snack to just like, sometimes you just want to snack on something, if that makes sense. So So the whole day I had kind of planned on going to Mad Greens, and that was kind of how I was basing how I was eating everything, but that didn't end up happening. We actually had to go out to our house. We're selling a house, and do some yard work because there was an open house, and we just wanted to make sure everything was done 100%. So didn't end up doing that, came home, showered, and then we went to Chipotle. You know, I'm not totally a fan of Chipotle. Like, I think it tastes great, I think it's good, but you know what, like, one of those bowls is like 1,000 calories. Like, that's way too much. So like a bowl that is like legit bomb good. And in my opinion, the chicken is too fatty and the steak is too fatty. So this particular time I got the steak option just because I really was craving some steak. And it's like a 4-ounce portion, and I think they say it's like 180 calories or something. And I only tracked like 2.5 ounces because honestly, like, it was like so fatty. I didn't eat it. I only ate a couple pieces, so I just didn't really like it. And maybe I got a bad, you know, sometimes like a bad mix, you know. So I had the steak on that. I ordered a salad, so it came with the romaine blend, and then I got the corn that they have, the salsa, and then pico on it. I didn't do any PB or any avocado or anything, because basically I'm focusing on eating more carbs that day instead of more fats. this is kind of like my pro tip, my trick that I've been doing for years. I always have to have like something sweet like after every single meal. It's really weird. So I end up having a lot of coffee. I keep a lot of decaf coffee on hand, and when I'm on prep, I'll also drink a lot of teas as well. And in this particular case, I had the decaf San Antonio blend from HEB and 2 stevias, a spoonful or so of Walden Farms chocolate syrup. I know, whatever guys, in moderation. I know it's like, I mean, life. Just, it's not always about health. You need some unhealthy things in there. So, some Walden Farms, and sometimes I'll put a little leaner creamer in there as well. So that's kind of like my post-dinner treat / dessert thing. Kind of gets me, helps me feel more satisfied after my meal. So for my last meal of the day, which I usually eat literally right before bed. In fact, sometimes I fall asleep and then I go back and eat it. And it's almost always like 99, unless I'm like on prep really close to a show, it's a scoop of whey, 1 cup of unsweetened cashew milk, and lots of ice to make it really thick. Sometimes I add a little sugar-free Jell-O. I did not this time, just for a thickening agent. But in this case, because it's the weekend and carbs after dark is not a big deal and I'm trying to eat more carbs, I always save myself a Fit and Delish cookie. And I had the chocolate chip, no, I had the double chocolate chip cookie, and I usually warm it up for like 10 seconds in the microwave or something, and it's bomb. And sometimes I dip it in my protein shake and it's so good. So that's basically it for the full day of eating. This is basically how I eat every weekend, and I don't really track it. I haven't tracked it once, except until this weekend because of this video. So to sum up my macros, keep in mind also that, you know, of course, I'm still kind of in a prep mode. This was more of like a relaxed, like, approach to my normal diet, I guess you could say. So Saturday, June 10th, my protein intake was 155 protein, 120 carb, 13 fiber, fat 30 grams. So that's pretty good. Usually my carbs during the week are about, it just depends. It goes from like 60 to 75. I'm on a pretty low carb diet, but I eat a lot of vegetables and I feel really satisfied. So, you know, I would say my most comfortable carb intake is about 100 grams. That's where I feel like good and I like satisfied. You know, I feel like when I start to eat over 100 grams of carbs, I actually feel really full and stuffed and like lethargic almost. And I know that's really weird to say, and I know you guys are gonna judge me for that, but it's, I mean, I don't starve myself, that's for sure. Trust me. I'm like a foodie over here, and I'm like a secret fat girl, okay? But, you know, I'm still trying to lean down, still trying to make progress for the stage, so it's a little bit different, a little more intense. But yeah, that is my full day of eating. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to thumbs up if you guys like this video. I'm going to go ahead and link my grocery haul here as well, which was kind of like a similar video format, and you guys really enjoyed that, so that's why I did this with the full day of eating. I do post videos 2 or 3 times a week if y'all are new to the channel, mostly food, fitness related type things. Sometimes I post some beauty stuff, I don't know. And then of course I've got a creature and a husband, and so it's just basically daily life. That's it. Yeah, so make sure to thumbs up if you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Comment below and let me know what your fave go-to snack is on your like cheat day or your more relaxed day. I'd love to know. Me, it's like cereal and cookies, which is why I do the Fit and Delish cookies, because they're healthier cookie options and they're delicious. That's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will catch you guys in the next one.